Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching Behind the Brand. I want to give a special shout out to my friends at Pixability for making this episode possible. And don't forget to subscribe. It actually makes a huge difference to convince the people that don't believe you can watch awesome content like this for free on YouTube. Hope you enjoy the next episode. Thanks for watching.
What's up guys, this is ScottDW and you're watching Behind the Brand.
Hi, I'm Brian Elliott. Welcome to another edition of Behind the Brand. Today I'm here with content creator, director, entrepreneur extraordinaire, ScottDW. Scott, welcome to the show. I usually ask my guests, how'd you get this job?
It's a really good question, and I usually tell people that it was all a giant mistake, a big accident. Never really planned to end up on YouTube as a content creator, but I'm a passionate filmmaker and songwriter, and when an opportunity opened up to create something for YouTube and share it with the world, and people liked what they saw, then I grabbed that opportunity and ran with it.
So when did that happen?
That was 2.5 years ago. It was when I made my very first video with the flying cats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before that, were you doing music then?
Before that, I was working more traditionally in film. I was doing a lot of director of photography work for music videos and feature films and stuff like that. And that was really my focus, was just traditional media.
So are you a film school guy? Is that what you did for school, or?
Yeah, I started doing film school. I ended up dropping out of film school, and I went and went to LA and internshiped on the TV show Bones and Brothers and Sisters, and I was like, this is exactly what I want to be doing, you know. And it was that time when I saw the opportunity on YouTube.
That's awesome. Talk about some of your breakout hits. Like, who gave you your first big break? I know you do a lot of collaboration with Devin Graham. Who do you credit for some of your success, like just getting you started?
I mean, Devin and I went to school together. Devin Supertramp. We went to film school together, so he was already doing content on YouTube, and I was kind of seeing the success that he had. So he was, I would definitely say that Devin was an inspiration when it came to taking that leap of faith and exploring YouTube. It was also Devin who gave me the opportunity to help my music be heard now by hundreds of millions of people. So I'd say Devin was a big part in kind of kickstarting that for me, and then it was my first few videos each hit 1 million views within a week. So I think I just got really lucky in the beginning, and I think it was my third video was my Fruit Ninja in real life video that now has 30 million views, and I think that was kind of the tipping point for me where, you know, I was starting to see the success on YouTube and I was starting to see these opportunities come in, but it was that video where I was like, okay, this is something different. This is kind of a game changer, yeah.
So a lot of people watch this show. They're entrepreneurs, they're content creators. How do you define success?
Oh man, that's a good question. I guess for me, the way that I define success is when I am doing what I love, and what I'm doing every day makes me happy, and I'm making a living at doing it. To me, that means I've become successful. I've always wanted to be a filmmaker, a songwriter, and I wanted people to hear that. And now I'm living that dream every single day, which is still not reality for me. But I make a living, and that's what I get to do every day. So would I call myself successful at what I do? I don't know. I'm not the biggest YouTuber or the biggest content creator, but I get to do what I love every single day, and to me that's success.
So what do you say to those people who have got 2 out of the 3 of those? They're doing what they love, you know, things are going right, but they're not making a living. A lot of people get stuck, and they define success by, well, being able to pay the rent or, keep it going. So I guess my question is, how long do you give that great idea or follow your passion until it's not working?
I mean, that's a great question. A lot of times it's just trying to explore as many avenues as you can. It's getting creative with what you love. if you tie yourself down to saying, you know, I only love doing this one thing, sometimes that can be difficult because you'll spend all of your time and all of your energy doing that one thing, and maybe it's not going to work out. I think for me, you know, there was still the element of exploring traditional media and now this online thing. But you know, I loved writing music, I loved writing, I loved shooting, I loved all these different things. And so for me, it was about just trying as much as I could, just grabbing every opportunity in every single direction, and whatever started to stick, I kind of learned to have that be what continued making me happy.
Do you reverse engineer any of this stuff? Like, how do you find your audience? Because I think a lot of the success from YouTube is about finding your audience, finding your own voice.
Yeah.
Do you reverse engineer any of that stuff, or you just think of, man, I'd really love to do like some sort of stormtrooper dance video and just go for it?
I definitely do some reverse engineering now, but when I started, it was all about like, here's a million different ideas I want to make. I'm going to make them all. I don't care if they're for like 20 different audiences. And that was part of the struggle in the beginning. Was just, you know, I was making videos that appealed to one type of audience, and then I'd go and I'd make something more, you know, action adventure that appealed to like a totally different audience. And I still do that. I've got a wide variety of content that I make, but now I definitely do more research, reverse engineering. When I've got an idea, I have to make sure that it's going to appeal to people who I've now kind of built as a fan base.
So how do you do that? I mean, do you have listening tools in place? Is it less high-techy than that? Like, how do you do that?
I mean, it's just a lot of it for me is listening to fans, communicating with fans.
Is that specifically on YouTube?
On all sorts of social media. I love Instagram. Instagram is probably my favorite form of social media because I feel the most connected to people that way. But YouTube is important too. A lot of times I'll try to leave a question or a thought, like what's next, or what do you want to see next, like at the end of a video, and try to gauge, you know, what fans are wanting, or even just new people who are coming to the channel and what they're wanting. So a lot of it is just a fan interaction, but then another big part of it is just kind of noticing what is currently popular, and trying to fit that into the video somehow. Trying to
Drafting strategy. Or,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How much weight do you give the audience feedback? I mean, if you ever want to get depressed, just go to the YouTube comments for the most bizarre, out there, but also, you know, also most heartfelt sometimes. But how much weight do you give what people are saying?
In the beginning of YouTube, reading the comments in general was very, very difficult for me. It would give me some of my highest highs and some of my lowest lows. Sometimes it made me never want to make another video again, just because, you know, people have no shield. You know, on YouTube it's like you can say whatever you want.
They're just lobbing hand grenades.
So I definitely learned to become desensitized over time to those comments, but not to the point that I don't still take from them. So I look at the comments and I take them with a grain of salt. So I definitely look to the comments for inspiration and ideas. And when I do see those positive comments, it definitely gets me pumped up and it makes me want to make more content. But the negative comments, they do less damage to me now.
So you've had a great deal of success now, and probably it's easier. Do you think it's harder now or easier now to start something new, now that you've had this success? I mean, in the beginning you had a shorter distance to fall. Now you've had a certain amount of success, maybe you work with a bigger budget, whatnot. Is it harder to start something new today than it was back then, or is it easier?
I don't know. I tend to think that it's a little bit easier. I feel that now that I've got something in place and wheels moving, that if I do have a new idea or I want to try something that maybe hasn't been tested out before, maybe it's only easier because I have the confidence, because I've done it before. I have now built something and I've gone through so many tests and trials. I think maybe more than anything, it's just I have more confidence to try something new.
What have you really screwed up? What's been like one of your biggest mistakes? And I say that because, you know, a lot of people will not do stuff because they're afraid to fail, right? But we know that you can't have success without it.
Yeah.
You've just got to try stuff that might not work and go for it. Like you said, you've tried lots of different things, but what if you really screwed up that you learned a huge lesson from?
Oh man, there's a lot of screw-ups. I mean, this is a little bit generic. There are specific instances that this kind of ties to, but I think the biggest screw up that I've made in my time on YouTube is just not being true to my own voice. You know, I have a very specific sense of humor and style that I like to adhere to when I make my content. But as soon as you start working with other content creators or other brands or other influencers, sometimes, you know, your main focus or just like beliefs, I guess, can be deterred. And so, yeah, and so I think trying to be a people pleaser maybe has been like a downfall of mine, or try things that are outside of my style or my passion, I guess. I think those have been times where I've made mistakes because I've had content that maybe isn't as successful or isn't as true to me, you know, and those are the pieces of content that I regret, that I sometimes want to just go and take down.
A lot of people watch you online, they love your personality, they love what you're doing. Tell your fans maybe something about you personally. Let's get a little personal. Okay, take out maybe get a little personal and tell them something about you that maybe they don't know.
Something about me that, I don't know, there's probably a lot that they don't know about me. I share a lot about my film life, my music life, but I keep a lot on the down low. I guess probably the biggest thing that I'm actually starting to be open with people about is the fact that I have a family. I have a wife and I have 2 kids, and I used to keep that very hidden because I didn't want to be viewed as different, you know, with people on YouTube that I'm competing with. But I've found that I actually, people can connect with that, and I think maybe even a little bit of more respect comes once knowing I do all the work that I do already, but then I also I have a family that I take care of.
So yeah, I noticed you're not wearing a ring. Yeah. Is that by design?
No, just some days I forget it, some days I don't.
Yeah. So you have 2 kids?
2 kids, yeah, 2 little boys.
Awesome. Yeah. And so what are you afraid of, the backlash? You say you're kind of competing with people who have different...
Yeah, I think early on, you know, there's so many people like Devin, who obviously is a good friend of mine, who puts 100% of everything he does into this, and all these other YouTubers. It's a very, very competitive industry, and you know, I was also always told that, you know, to be successful in film, and not just YouTube, but in the entertainment industry, you really kind of have to be untethered. You can't, it's very hard to have a family, have kids, to have personal relationships if you want to be successful in this industry, because it's just work, and more likely than not, you're going to burn those relationships. So in the beginning, I think I was like, okay, I'm going to be the guy who's untethered. I've got nothing holding me back. I'm hitting the ground 100%. But what I've learned, honestly, even in the last just few months, is that I think it's something that strengthens me to be able to say that, no, you know what, I'm going against the norm. I'm creating something here. I'm creating a brand. I'm creating a career, and I'm doing this while supporting a family and having a family be a part of it all.
And you look at someone like Shay, you know, the Godfather, you know, started off being built around that whole idea of family. Talk to us about some of the content you've done. Like, what's the most ambitious, or what's the video that was maybe the most difficult, or maybe you're the most proud of?
It's probably a video that I just released. I think the beginning of this year is my high school dance battle video. It's a geeks versus cool kids high school. It's kind of a play off of like High School Musical kind of a thing, but it was the dance version.
anything. How'd you do on the algebra test? Oh, I ate.
Watch it, geek.
Sorry. What did you say to me?
Oh, fight, 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 fight. Let's do this.
Yo, I'm like a one-hit wonder. I do the show once, so take a number. Lightning strike without all the thunder. Hold your breath, you about to go under. I know the game, I make the rules. And if you show up, expect to lose. This is the fun kids playground. This is the one-hit takedown. You run, so keep your head down. You run, so keep your head down. You run, so keep your head down. You run, so keep your head down.
What do we do? Sleepover. Last Wednesday, remember? Got it.
No, I'm...
Now drop it, we can drop it. Hands up, I'm dropping the jaw, watch it. Gonna knock the dominoes. Gonna knock the dominoes. Don't fight it, I know you like it. I'm good at reading your mind, I kind of a psychic. Gonna knock the dominoes. Gonna knock the dominoes. I came up without making a sound. They never saw me coming out. I'm shaking the ground. I got 'em all lined up. Now I'm knocking 'em down. I'm knocking, and I knock the dominoes. And I knock the dominoes.
No! We're not doing this right this second! Boom, boom, ching, baga, boom, boom, liggy, liggy, boom, boom. Hey, kids, don't you fight, 'cause all together we can make it right. So stop your bullying, it's not cool. Can we all just get along here at school?
That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even...
Thank you!
Just thanks, Principal. Bye.
Not bad.
There's a project that I was really, really passionate about. It was something that I wanted to make for, I think, over a year, and it's never had. The project in my mind was so big, I had no way of doing it by myself, and it became so ambitious that it kind of just sat on the back burner while I was doing, I was doing a lot of brand projects and smaller passion projects, and ultimately it became one of the hardest videos I ever made. And I was lucky enough to get paired up with HTC, who wanted to do a video with me, and it was just perfect. They were the perfect brand to do this video that I dreamed of making for a long time. But I was also going through a very rough time in my life medically. I had some very serious health problems, and I ended up in the hospital most of December, which coincidentally was the month that I was making this project, and I had to make it. So it was very difficult because it was a very, very large project, something I was very, very passionate about, but I was also very, very sick. Put it all together, had no idea how it came together. If you watch me in the behind the scenes of that video, half the time I'm keeling over and I'm just like, it's going great, it's like, but that was a very difficult project. But now I feel like, similar to like what Fruit Ninja did for me a few years ago, this video is doing for me right now. It's redefining me as a filmmaker. It's even rebranding my channel. It's creating opportunities. The video now is 13 million views and steadily climbing, and it's creating opportunities to create longer form projects in the same vein. And so yeah, I have to say it's that project.
That's awesome. Give us some parting words. Maybe talk right direct to camera, and give some of these content creators who are just getting their start some advice.
As cheesy as it may be, the biggest advice that I give to content creators who want to do this for a living is honestly just be yourself. Be true to what you love and what you believe in, and create that. Create it 100% for passion. Don't do it for money. Don't do it for success. The success, the money will come if you're creating what you love and what you believe in. And more than that, be consistent. 100% of all of that is is being consistent and don't drag your feet.
All right, we've been spending a little time with filmmaker ScottDW. Be sure to check out his YouTube channel. Scott, thanks for being on the show.